So what? A year ago, when we started to plan this conference, that was the only guideline I, as a director, gave to the organizing team, who is very independent, valuing academic freedom and doing all this perfect job to get everything together. So what? May I ask you, how many times during this conference you heard the question, so what, asked by the presenters or moderators or the audience? At least, who heard that at least once? Raise your hand. Thank you very much. So at least once it was asked. So what is the meaning of it? The purpose of the exercise, the conference is to bring the latest research from industry and academia to the attention of our actual cyber defenders, our cyber commands, our cyber diplomats, and so on and so on. And have feedback from them back to our developers in industry and in academia. And first, I would like to thank everybody who made this possible. And you definitely want to do some exercising, so put your hands ready. And let's give the first big applause to our speakers, authors, moderators for their contents. Thank you. Thank you all. Relax your hand. The next applause will come to our industry partners for paying for half of the free tickets and half of the travel for speakers and all the great things that you experienced during this event. So thank you very much for our industry partners. The third group I would like to thank are our volunteers. Do you know which of the competitions is large? There are 3 competitions at CyCon. First competition, can I get my abstract in? Second competition, can I become diamond sponsor? And third one, can I become a volunteer? What do you think? Which of these competitions have the highest success rate? Or the, let's say, lowest success rate? Well, I will not tell the numbers. I just say just one number again. 1 out of 10 abstracts is selected. Sponsors, yeah, unfortunately, many of them were sent back because we had already selected the best possible contents. But volunteers are always running through very harsh competitive selection process, and best of the best of our future cyber commanders and cyber experts are back there. Let's give them a big hand for their support and help. I also very much would like to thank our most important stakeholders. Yes, we all work here for our stakeholders, but stakeholders themselves, the cyber commanders and their teams and ministry officials who stayed here over the conference after Tuesday's Cyber Commanders Forum or joined us later, were a very valuable group to provide the half of the meaning of this conference. So let's thank our cyber defenders as well. And last but not least, in this section, I would like to tell you a story. During the recent weeks, I have had a lot of discussion with Ukrainian startup community. And as you know, they do very active everyday work to keep their nation safe and actually keep our nation safe as well against Russian threat. And this is a story I hear over and over again from these startups who actively test out their early stage innovation on the battlefield against Russian electronic warfare and Russian cyber attacks and Russian kinetic attacks. And the story I hear is that when we started like 1.5 year or 2 years ago, then all these guys who helped us, the soldiers and officers helped to validate our products and test it out, more than half of them are dead by now. So this is a real world and real situation. And keeping this in mind, I definitely want to emphasize that for the next CyCon, next year, we have certain expectations, needs and requirements. I believe we all share those. And the first and foremost, we know people are dying, actually dying. So there is urgency to support our national defenses, our cyber defenses, not only for cyber attacks, but keeping people alive on the battlefronts. And I ask you also, all, when you come back next year, then even more than today, think about the actual effect on the battlefield, the change you help to make to keep the cyberspace safe, and the meaning of our work here. So with that, I will hand over the floor to the chair of CyCon 2025, who will open the cards and tell us what will happen next year. Please give a warm welcome to Claire.
Hi everybody, my name is Claire, Dr. Claire Kwan. I am the National Senior Representative for Luxembourg, and I have the pleasure, the honour and the privilege of being the chair for next year. So I'm going to now just give you a little bit of a warm-up to the actual theme unveiling. The last session we had here before our closing keynote, we talked about the grey zone, the issue of unpeace, how in cyberspace we don't have peace, we don't have war. It's a place that's constantly contested, there's constant conflict. We've blurred the lines between what is defensive, what is offensive. It's not how it used to be, let's put it this way. Everything we do and how we act changes cyberspace and the world around us, and we also have to adapt to the changes we ourselves make and the ones that other people make. So what we will be looking at next year is how do politicians, decision makers, lawyers, technological pioneers, industry, how do we adapt when the rules of the game are constantly changing? Our adversaries are goal-oriented, they're determined, they're on it 24/7. We need to be on it 24/7. So we need to look ahead. What is the next step? That is the theme for next year, is the next step. The call for papers is already open. Our website will be shortly changing. So then we will have a new landing page. It's not that you will lose the information from this year. There will be a new landing page. You can already submit your call for papers. If you're from industry, interested in becoming a sponsor, you can contact us there. If you're a startup, we would also love to hear from you. So that is the next theme. The call for papers closes on the 8th of October. And just as a small shout out, we have already put up a questionnaire on the website for this year's. We would really appreciate your feedback and your observations. You will also see screens around the hotel with the QR code. We would really like to learn so we can do even better next year. So please take 5 minutes to give us your feedback. Thank you.
And before you give the applause, I have only 3 things to tell you. Submit early, register early, make a difference. Thank you all. See you next year.
Safe journey home.